Hello everyone. So this is something different. Today I'm going to be showcasing a game that I made using Unreal Engine 4. So I called it Magix because the X makes it cool, and I'm bad at coming up with titles. And it's about a stage magician. It's a puzzle platformer, but let's be real, the puzzles aren't really anything puzzling, because I'm bad at making puzzles. But yeah, it's about a magician, like a stage magician, like who pulls a rabbit out of the hat kind of guy, except he doesn't do that in this game because I didn't make him do that. So let's look at the credits. Oh, programming, that's me. Level design, oh, that's me too. Art, oh, that's me also. Music's from Ben Sounds. The website was like, yeah, use any of this music if you want, just credit me. I'm like, cool. And the sound effects are from freesound.org. So yeah, I did like everything. Built this one game 100% from scratch, other than the music and the sound effects. Whew. It took about 2 months. And art took about 2/3 of that time. just the art by itself took 2/3 of that time. Let's see what kind of options are great. Okay, I lied. I didn't actually put options in the game. You have no options. I dictate what your options are. I don't know. So you look at this screen here, and you're like, oh man, this looks like it's going to have a lot of pizzazz. And then you click play, and the first level loads, and you're like, oh, wait, where's the pizzazz? Well, so, yeah. When I first came up with the idea was to make it like a Metroidvania style game. Oh man, how original is that? And indeed the game, it says Metroidvania. Ooh. Where the magician guy would learn different kinds of spells to do different kinds of things with the environment. I ended up only coding one specific kind of puzzle, and that is these cards. I hope you can tell what the idea is that these doors have the suit on them, and these cards all have suits on them, so you want to magic the cards so that the door will open when they're all the same suit as the door, and the door will close if they're not all the same suit. And I set it so that regardless of how many cards there are on the screen, the door will read all of them, and all of them will have to be the same suit as the door for the door to open. So yeah, that's kind of like that's the basics of this entire game. I only made 4 different levels because making puzzles is hard. And like that first room was kind of to hopefully made to guide the player to get an idea of what the objective of the puzzle is. And this is kind of introducing a bit of platforming in there. So yeah. But I just want to talk about the magician for a second. Drawing him and animating him, it took like over a month just by itself. And fun fact, when I was drawing him, I didn't account for the size of him in the game, so I drew him really big, and I scaled him down in the game, and now he looks really kind of blurry and not that great. But it's kind of a shame. But oh well, lesson learned. When I redo his art, I will make sure that I draw him at the right size in the first place. So yeah, because I do fully intend to continue working on this and eventually distribute it and sell it and make lots of money and become a millionaire based off this one game. Okay, yeah, I know that's not going to happen, but yeah. But the small issue with that right now is that I made all the art and stuff with school equipment, so I'm gonna have to redo it if I want to actually sell it on my own equipment, of which I have none. So that's a small issue, that I don't have a drawing tablet of my own, and using the mouse to draw is not going to happen. But yeah, I'll figure it out. So yeah, this is the third level. The puzzle is, this is where I start introducing a puzzle. There's 2 doors now. Ooh, and they both have different suits. So that's cool. So the idea is you want to climb up here and shoot them from up here and not fall down, because then you're like, oh no, I can't reach that one now, and it's not a heart. And you're like, oh no, what do I do? Well, you click R to reset the level. Okay. And about the levels themselves, I probably didn't do it in the most efficient way. If you are familiar with Unreal Engine, you may know that you build levels on what are called, well, levels. So what it is, it's kind of hard to explain because they're the same words. But if you're familiar with Unity, Unreal, then you hopefully know what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, just think of a level as a different level, like I go to a different screen. But the way I built these levels is with like a tile map. Like you put a bunch of tiles together on a tile map. So I figure the better way to actually do it, instead of putting the tile maps on the different levels, is to put them all on the same level and just switch the camera when you get to the end of each level, if that makes sense. I hope it does. And that's also why the music kind of restarts after each level, because it can't really, it's on a different level, so you kind of won't be able to continue the same music. You probably would with some finagling in the code, but I didn't do that because I didn't polish this game at all. I did this in 2 months. So yeah. Yo, this jump is actually like nigh impossible, and I made it on my first try. I'm not sure how that happens. Maybe I'm actually starting to get good at this game that I made. Yeah, that's usually what happens. But yeah. Oh, something else I want to talk about is the background art, like the environment art. Yo, these smudges, I keep looking at them and thinking that my screen is smudged, but it's just like smudges on the wall. Like, it's kind of like a dirty storage room that is running through right now. But yeah. But anyway, so when I imported my tile sheet for the environment art, some of the tiles, like the foreground wall and the background wall, were right next to each other in the tile sheet. So what happened then was that the colors kind of bled together on the line in the Unreal editor. And so what happened then was, in the foreground walls, there were like these white skinny stripes, and it looked awful. So my solution was to make this monstrosity of a tile sheet where everything next to each other shares a border, so that even if they do bleed together, it doesn't matter because the border is the same. So yeah, that's the jeez. Oh man, but It's probably not the prettiest way to do it, but it worked for me. And you know what's not working for me? This jump. I should not have jumped down from there. Whoever created this jump should be fired. I don't know who it could have been. It's not as if I didn't build the whole game myself, other than the music and sound effects. But yeah. Oh man, I completely just missed that jump. Oh yeah, one other fun time I had with in the making of this of this game is shooting the magic at the mouse position. So for whatever reason, Unreal calculates the mouse position differently from every other position of other objects. So where this guy has a world position based on the level itself, the mouse's position is based on like the screen size and the resolution, and not based on the world position. And it just took me forever to figure that out. I'm clicking like down here, why is the magic going completely not that direction? Unreal doesn't know how vectors work. Well, it turns out that there's a simple command to just get the world location of the mouse, and it took me like too long to figure that out. But I did eventually figure it out through the sheer power of the Google. And so yeah, Googling things is how games get made. So that was how I solved that issue. And also, the music doesn't loop because I didn't expect people to stay in the level for like 4 minutes long, because the song is like 4 minutes long, and I didn't make a loop. It's not polished. The game is not polished. But that was the 4th level. Thanks for playing through this test demo, me. And again, I do intend to continue working on this. And yeah, because when I came up with the idea in the first place, I was like, oh man, a stage musician, you can do a lot of things with him. You can do all sorts of spells to do puzzles with. Like, he could do a spell to make a flower grow and use that flower as a platform. Or he could do like a spell to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and the rabbit will it's smaller than him, so it can fit in areas that he can't, or something like that. Yeah, but I made this in 2 months, so I only put together one thing. Hopefully, only one type of magic puzzle. So, yeah. Hopefully, that was a cool thing that I showed off, the game I made. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, that just for the class. But I know it's far from a finished product. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.